left. Full time that always comes on your way from Mondays to Saturdays from the hour of 2 p.m. up to the hour of 3 p.m. where we bring for you what is transpiring locally here, maybe in Arua City or as the whole of the region, West Nile region. We take a look at some of the continent, some of the stories that are coming from nationally. We also look at continental stories before we always finalize everything with what is transpiring in international sports, more especially the games that have already been played and the fixtures that continues to come on your way, and not forgetting about the transfer rumors and speculations, plus some of the done deals, not forgetting about the deals that are in the pipeline that are about to come out. As I said, my name is Oraku Benson Pastore, and we have been so many things. We'll be talking about the ongoing inter-regional health institutional ball games. We'll also be discussing something about Arua Hill Sports Club. What are we going to discuss about Arua Hill Sports Club? They have already confirmed the home ground for the new season of 2023/2024. I am talking about the Star Times Uganda Premier League. You also talk about a club in the names of Police FC. We are not talking about Police FC of Uganda. We are actually talking about Police FC, that side of Kenya, the rate at which they are actually signing Ugandan players. Who are these players they have already signed? We'll also be talking about them. What about the FIFA Super 8? The tournament is still continuing, and it will come to climax on Sunday. And yesterday we had classification matches. Vipers, of course, tussled it out with Vipers. How it went? Vipers tussled it out with Bright Stars. How it went? We'll also be doing analysis about it. And the finals and the third playoffs finals shall be played on Sunday. That one will be the 3rd of September. Bull will be tussling it out with URA. Meanwhile, we will be seeing a game between KC and Sports Club Villa. What about some of the breaking stories that are coming international? Remember, the draws of the UEFA Champions League shall be done tomorrow. We'll be looking at the fate of some of the teams, and also we had the games that we are played in the preliminary rounds of the UEFA Champions League. The games we are played yesterday equal. We shall also be having games tonight in UEFA Champions League before the draws will be coming on your way tomorrow. And also bad news for Manchester United fans, because they have again lost another player, a defender in the names of Rafael Varane, who will be out for 6 weeks. And the coach of Wolves, that's O'Neill, is expecting Nunes to stay at the club, not leaving to Manchester City, because Manchester City, with the 2 days, as I said, being left for the summer transfer window to shut down, they still want to add another midfielder into their box. And Andre Onana, the Cameroonian who is playing for the team of Manchester United, has again been recalled by the coach of that Cameroon ahead of the AFCON qualifier up against Burundi, plus the transfer stories that continues to make headlines. As I said, I am not alone. I am having a special guest in the names of Mr. Roy, the chairperson for the ongoing regional health institutional games. Will be basically discussing what is transpiring as that tournament is concerned. You are most welcome, Mr. Roy. You can introduce yourself to the viewers.
Thank you so much, Mr. Benson. My name, as you said, is Mr. Adupio Roy Moses. I'm the chairperson for games and sports for health training institutions in this region. It's my pleasure to be on West Nile TV for the first time, and my greetings to our listeners.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Roy. As I said, today I will not be talking about the tournament. We did our analysis yesterday. We will be getting everything from our guest, how the game started, how it's going. Briefly, can you start by giving a background about this game? Because at first it was a national tournament, but of late it has been shifted as a regional tournament. Can you be in position to give to the viewers about the background of this tournament?
Thank you so much, Mr. Benson, once again. The background of West Nile regional games and sports for health training institutions started way back in 2018, when Ministry of Education and Sports thought it wise to regionalize health training institutional games. But before that time, what happened was all health institutions would converge in a centralized point selected by ministry, where all schools will be represented at national level. However, they thought it wise in 2018 to regionalize the health training, institutional games and sports. On that note, in 2018, Ministry of Education and Sports wrote to all the principals of health training institutions in Uganda, notifying them about regionalization of health training institutions, games and sports. So for our region, when the principals got this letter in 2018, the principals called for a meeting between the principals and the sports tutors of all the health training institutions in the region. And this meeting was held at the Arua School of Nursing and Midwifery. In this meeting, the first executive of the region was put in place. So the executive was tasked to organize the first edition of the health training, institutional games and sports for our region. So on that note, the executive sat down and came up with a roadmap to the first edition of the West Nile Regional Sports Games and Sports for our region. So what happened that time is we had to select our first host, which was Arua School of Nursing and Midwifery. In 2018, they hosted us in Arua district but right now we call it Arua City. Yes. So after 2018, the executive put it forward that yes, the pre-championship will be moved from district to district. So after Arua district, we went to Moyo district, which was the pre-championship was hosted by Moyo School of Nursing and Midwifery. That was our second edition. So the third edition did not take place in 2020. Why? Because all of us don't want to think about 2020 and 2021 because of the COVID. So all games and sports were cancelled, so we could not organize. Last year, 2022, we are hosted by Maracha district, and the hosting institution was Maracha School of Nursing and Midwifery. So we also organized it successfully, and that ended the term for the first executive. So I want to say that right now, as we talk, we are for the fourth edition of West Nile Health Training Institutional Games and Sports. This time we're in Arua district, and we are hosted by Kuluva School of Nursing and Midwifery. Maybe briefly, before we go ahead, as I said, the term of office of the previous executive ended with the organization at Maracha district. Yes. However, because the principal knew that the executive had already done with their office, early this year, April, they had to converge another meeting at the Arua School of Nursing and Midwifery, which is our center for all our discipline, for all our meetings, where we had to elect a new executive. Kindly, may you allow me go through the new executive?
Yeah, you may go about giving the new executives, but thank you for that brief highlights on the history of the tournament. Before we proceed and you give the names of the executives, how has it been going in the past 3 editions, and what qualifies for a school to host these games?
Yeah, thank you so much. There is no criteria that we put in place to select our host institution. Yes. Because from our roadmap, we had said we'll be moving from one district to another district. So the first edition was hosted by Arua district. From Arua district, we said we are going to Moyo district. We know in Moyo district there is only one health training institution, which is well affiliated to Ministry of Sports and Education and Sports. That is Moyo School of Nursing. So we had no challenges in selecting Moyo. So when it comes to Maracha district, there are around 3 health training institutions. For the 3, we made them to show their interests. Therefore, the successful institution was Moyo School of Nursing and Midwifery after vetting, and that's how they hosted us last year.
Okay, thank you so much. You can now be in person to give the names of the executives that you have newly elected.
Thank you so much once again, Mr. Benson. As I said, in April this year, we conversed with all the principals and health training sports tutors of all the training institutions at Arua School of Nursing and Midwifery, where we had to elect the new executive. So in the executive we have the first person is Mr. Adripio Roy Moses. I'm the one. I'm the chairperson for the association from St. Joseph's Medical Laboratory Training School, Maracha, which is found within the hospital. The next person is Mr. Anguyo Morris, is the vice chairperson, and he comes from Arua School of Nursing and Midwifery. The third person is Mr. Archid Alfred, who is our general secretary. He comes from ANIMIS. This is the pronunciation is quite long, but in short we call it ANIMIS. It is a nursing school in Maracha district, found between Maracha district headquarters and the Oliver Trading Center. Next we have Mr. Omara Francis, who is the vice secretary. He comes from Moyo School of Nursing and Midwifery. Our next executive member is Madame Vico Delila, who is our treasurer, and she comes from Maracha School of Nursing and Midwifery. Next we have Mr. Warom Brian, who is our organizing secretary, at the same time the publicity secretary, and he comes from Kuluva School of Nursing and Midwifery. And then we had to put more committee members to support the sixth executive. We have Madame Injaru Agnes, who is a mobilizer from ANIMIS. We have Mr. Ejidra Moses from Maracha School of Nursing and Midwifery. We have Mr. Lukodikodi Daniel, who comes from Arua School of Nursing and Midwifery. We have Madame Bella Bako, who comes from Kuluva School of Nursing and Midwifery. We have Miss Agobe Joan, who comes from Moyo School of Nursing and Midwifery. We have Mr. Desire Lota Ita, who comes from Maracha Maracha Lab School, which I call St. Joseph's Medical Lab Training School.
Yes.
Lastly, we have Mr. Xavier Anizati from Kajokeji Institute of Health Sciences.
Okay, thank you for that update. Now there is one thing I would like to know from you. You know, there are some schools, primary schools, you talk about secondary schools, even the institutional schools. Some of them are not having the pitches. That's why I was asking you what qualifies for these institutions to host these games. Like you said, these games are moved from districts to districts. Now, if a school is not having the pitch, how comes that the school qualifies for hosting these games?
Thank you so much, Mr. Benson and my listeners at this time. Yeah, our programs, as I'd said, are organized by Ministry of Education and Sports. Of course, we are mandated to use nearby institutions, whether government or private. Of course, when we go into the district, we don't go illegally. The first thing is we approach the office of the district sports officer, because he's in charge of sports in the district. So after writing to him, we now go to the sister institutions around the host institution. We write to them. We know that we use their facilities. We also try to come up with modalities of paying for the utilities that we normally use at their facilities.
Okay, bringing us to what is currently transpiring at Kuluva School of Nursing and Midwifery, the host school for the 2023 edition of the tournament, which we have already mentioned. Briefly, can you tell to the viewers where these games are taking place? Because there are some who don't know where these games are taking place. Even others, they are unaware that the games are taking place. You can tell them where these games are taking place.
Thank you so much, Mr. Benson, once again. Before I give you exactly what is happening now, allow me give you a background, a brief one, a roadmap to the championship that we are holding right now. When we got an official letter from our National Organizing Committee telling us the roadmap for this year's championship, as a new regional executive, we started with also having our own roadmap for the region. On 1st of August 2023, we converged at the Kuluva School of Nursing and Midwifery for our first planning meeting. So after the first planning meeting, by then we had already got a letter from the National Organizing Committee inviting all the sports tutors of health training institutions all over Uganda to have a pre-championship training at the Butabika School of Psychiatric Clinical Officers. So that training took place from 8th to 10th of August 2023. I'm grateful to report that all our sports tutors went for this pre-championship training. When we came back from Kampala from this training, we had a meeting on 15th August 2023 with all our sports tutors and the principals. In this meeting, we gave the principals our budget for this pre-championship vis-a-vis the roadmap of the championship. We are grateful to report right now that the principals on 15th passed our budget and approved our roadmap. On 22nd of August 2022, we had a meeting with all the sports tutors, with all our technical officials, and also the sports ministers. We always have this meeting to prepare our technical officials and sports ministers psychologically to set them ready for the championship. Therefore, on Sunday, 27th of August 2023, this was our first day of the pre-championship, where we had the reporting and verification of participants. Therefore, Mr. Benson, I want to report that on Sunday, 27th, we received 8 schools out of the 9 health training institutions which already affiliated to Ministry of Education and Sports. On Sunday, therefore, we went through verification and we accommodated them. On our day 2, which was Monday 28th, we are for athletics the whole day, and this athletics took place in a general primary school from 8 a.m. up to around 6:30. And I'm grateful to report that all the events we had planned for athletics went through successfully. However, on that note, allow me thank also the LC5 Arua district. Allow me also thank the district sports officer. Allow me also thank the board chair of Kuluva School of Nursing and Midwifery, because they graced our occasion by opening the ceremony on that side. I'm grateful for this. Therefore, on our day 3, which was yesterday, we began the ball games. The ball games I'm talking about here are 3. That is football for male and female. We have netball for female, then volleyball for male and female. So yesterday we went through group stages, which we did not finish. As I talk right now, the last games of the group stages are being played. I'm grateful by around 3, the games will end. Therefore, after the group stages today, tomorrow we shall enter into the semi-finals. And we believe that our semi-finals will start from 8 a.m. in the morning, so that by around 11 we are done with the semi-finals. From 2 p.m. we shall go into the finals, and we believe by 4 p.m. we would have ended with the finals. Thereafter, from 4 up to 5:30 or 6, we shall have a closing ceremony and a departure at will. Thank you so much, Mr. Benson.
You forgot to tell me the venues where these games are taking place. You will tell that one to the viewers. And at the same time, how the schools are performing. You said the semi-finals are taking place tomorrow. Are there some schools that have already sealed their qualification to the semi-finals? Briefly, you can highlight us on that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Benson, once again. It is true, I didn't really talk about the playing grounds. As I'd said, athletics, we're at Ajono Primary School, which is a primary school close to the border, some distance. I'm grateful all the schools traveled there. For football games, we have 3 pitches that we're using. The first pitch is Eruba Primary School, where our Group A games are taking place. The second pitch is a Elembe Primary School grounds, where our Group B games are taking place. The third pitch is a Wava Primary School, where netball and volleyball games are being played from. Again, additionally to your question, I want to report that yes, I see a lot of improvements. All the schools prepared for this championship, they are very, very competitive, very enjoyable. I want to report and say that the spectators, that side are massive, and I'm grateful about them. There's no interruption from communities. People are just enjoying the game. Very, very competitive. This morning I moved from a number of playgrounds. However, I zeroed to Eruba because we have the toughest games. There's a lot of derby games in Eruba Primary School. That's why I zeroed so much on Eruba grounds. However, on schools which have qualified for semi-finals, I may not give all of them, but what I know, Kuluva School of Nursing and Midwifery is one school which has qualified for the semi-finals. The rest, as we talk, are yet battling it out. Maybe late in the evening I'll update, and you'll get all the information. Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving the update about the schools that have already sealed the qualification for the semi-finals. Yeah, let me still turn to you. You mentioned so many sporting activities. Athletics is already done. It was on Monday. Volleyball for both females and males. Football is both for ladies and also for the gents. Have all the schools turned for all the sporting activities, as there are some like who have opted for football, and then volleyball and netball, they are not there?
Thank you so much, Mr. Benson, and my listeners once again. Allow me inform my listeners that in West Nile region, the schools that are already affiliated to Ministry of Education and Sports are 9. Kindly let me go through them. We have Kuluva School of Nursing and Midwifery. We have Arua Institute of Health Sciences. We have Moyo School of Nursing and Midwifery. We have Arua School of Nursing and Midwifery. We have Animis. And then we have Maracha School of Nursing and Midwifery. We have St. Joseph's Medical Lab Training School. And we have lastly Koboko Institute of Health Sciences. These are the 9 institutions, health training institutions, affiliated to Ministry of Education and Sports.
Are they participating in all the sporting activities, volleyball, ladies football, men's football, and netball?
Thank you so much. I was coming to that. Of the 9, there were only 8 which you reported. Institution that did not report is Koboko Institute of Health Sciences.
Yes.
However, to your question, of the 8 which came, all of them participated in athletics. I'm grateful about that. But coming to football, male, all of them participated.
Yes.
Coming to football, female or women, it's only 4 schools which participated of the 8. And then in the volleyball, around the 6 schools are participating. And then netball, all of them are participating.
Are we seeing all the finals being played tomorrow?
Yes, indeed. As I said, we are ending with the preliminaries today. Early in the morning tomorrow, we shall have semi-finals. I'm grateful for volleyball. As I was coming this side, I got a communication that one of the semi-final games is on. By tomorrow, for volleyball, we only have the finals.
Okay. Now, you said Iruba, majority of the community members, they are gathering at Iruba. Shall we be seeing all the finals shifted to Iruba?
Thank you so much. At Iruba Primary School, we shall only have final for men. Why? Because for final female football, it is a round robin. Of course, the 4 teams will play amongst themselves. The one which will lead the table will be the champion. And then the second will automatically in that order. That is for female. But for football, men, the semi-finals will be in the 2 pitches in the morning at 8. However, the final will be at Eruba Primary School at the same time where we're going to have our closing ceremony. However, the finals for volleyball and netball will still be at Ewawa Primary School.
Okay, what will be the next step for the institutions as for the winners? Are they going to stop at this level as there is another tournament which is coming ahead of them? And how about the awardings? How are you going to award the winners?
Thank you so much. After our regional championship, that's not the end of the road for us. Of course, after here we are going for national championship, and this year's national championship is going to be hosted by Kabale District, and the Kabale School of Nursing and Midwifery will be the host institution, and this is beginning from 10th to 16th of September 2023. On the awards, yes, as a region, we have a number of awards that we are going to do. One for athletics, we have bought a number of medals, very many medals. We have gold, we have silver, bronze, very many medals that we are going to award to the best participants tomorrow. Then for the other disciplines, we have those trophies,
yes,
which we are going to award, the number of trophies that we are going to award. This year we also want to award certificates for the schools which won these trophies last year. But from the National Organizing Committee, normally these trophies are just supposed to be returned free of charge. But my new executive said, no, to appreciate an institution that won the trophy, we should award certificates. I want to report, yes, tomorrow for those institutions that won trophies in the previous edition, the 3rd edition, we are going to pick back these trophies and award them with well printed and beautiful certificates.
Only certificate without cash?
Yes, without cash. Why without cash is, no, this regional championship is basically funded by the institutions. We don't get any support from Ministry of Education. We don't have any other support from elsewhere. So we deal with the limited budget, and I think the institutions are okay with that.
Maybe in 30 seconds, how many schools shall be going for the national tournament? Are we seeing all the 8 schools that participated going, as we will see maybe the champion, as the runners-up going?
Thank you so much. There's a criteria for selecting the number of schools going for national championship. The standards are, in a region, when we have more than from 8 and above institutions, the region is represented by 3 institutions in each discipline. For example, in our region we have 9 institutions. Of the 9, 8 have participated in the championship, meaning that we are going to send 3 institutions per discipline for national championship. However, for volleyball and netball, where we have less than 8 institutions participating, we shall send 2 institutions to represent our region. It is the reverse in the athletics. For athletics, we don't zero on a specific institution. We select the best participants regardless of the institution to represent the region.
Okay, thank you so much. We are now going for a break.